Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for October 25th to November 1st, 2024. Let's get into the reading, shall we? I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me. Pulling our energy into sync across time and space. With each breath dropping further into ourselves. And with that third exhale, just imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment, knowing that this tree root is not only grounding you and making you totally present, but it is also a conduit through which anything that no longer serves can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I am here with all of your children about to do the reading of the week for October 25th to November 1st, 2024. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the highest and best way possible. I'd also like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us across time and space. Wherever you are encircled in this circle of light. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match the frequencies and intentions we have intended and set for ourselves of love, of light, of clarity, of wisdom, of healing, of transformation, grounding, and peace is welcome to go now. All right, my friends, let's do this week's reading and see where it takes us. All right, Creator, what is it that we most need to know for ourselves and as a collective this week, October 21st to November 1st, 2024, for our personal and collective highest and greatest good, that we may bring mindfulness and awareness and intention to our daily practice of life and do it to the best of our ability for our good and the good of anyone whose life we touch and the good of this magnificent planet we call home. Okay. We're starting with the 8 of Wands, the communication card. So this is where we're coming from, or what is relevant from our past that's important in our present, in our future, moving forward this week. And we have this card of signals. This is the card of communication. She's standing on the purified rose of desire, and all this messaging is coming towards her and bursting into bloom. It's a wand which is generative. It's that generative potential that we all have. We're here to co-create with life. We're here to dance with life. We're here to have our preferences, move in those directions, the direction of our yes, and have life respond to us and bring us more of what is aligned, because that's where life wants us. They want us lined up with our yes, lined up with that which lights us up and brings us to more joy, more fulfillment, more satisfaction. So this sitting in the past card tells us that this experience is something we have familiarity with. It's something we know. We've had the experience of connecting and co-creating and getting our heads up and looking around us for what inspires us in the past. And it's very important going forward this week that we tap into that energy, that familiarity of what we've done in the past and how we've done it in the past, so that we can pull it into our now and leverage it in our present. It's time for us to be looking for what inspires us. It's time for us to be giving that our attention and building it every day, even if it's just a little bit of energy. Giving your path, your purpose, your goal, your intention a little bit of energy every day means it builds. the similarity to a musical instrument, for instance. When we play our instrument every day just a little bit, we get better and better and better and better, and our muscles build memory, and we build familiarity with the tunes that we're playing. And before long, we can actually play the music without looking at our notes, and it becomes part of us. This is a similar sort of quality to the energy right now. We're needing to tap into our highest enthusiasm, our highest inspiration, and bring it into our now moment, leveraging it for our good and the good of everyone on the planet. So this is important. As I said, it's from our past. We're familiar with it. We've done it before. We know what it looks like, and it's time to bring it in now. We have the card of indecision in the present, the Eight of Swords. And so we have this individual who's standing here with her sword out. She is ready to take action. But it's not time to take action. So she's waiting for the divine download to come through her crown chakra and provide her with the insights that she requires to make her choice or decision and take action. So when this card shows up, it's often reminding us that it isn't time for us to make a decision. We don't know what to do. It's not time to make a decision. It's time to wait and receive the insights and the inspiration that we're seeking to help us make the best decision possible. So in our present environment, there's a lot coming towards us personally and collectively. And we may feel unable to make any choices or take any action. And that's okay. We don't have to take action when we don't know what to do next. Often when we do, we feel coerced, or we feel that it's important that we do something. We wind up making the wrong choice because we're not going with what our heart is guiding us to. We're not going with the flow. We're not in the rhythm of life. We're taking action from a mental space rather than a heartfelt, congruent, whole self space. So this card in our present is just reminding us that if we don't know what to do, it's okay to pause. It's okay to gather information. It's okay to just give ourselves permission to be unknowing and trusting that we will make the right choice. We will make the best decision possible when it's time to make it. But right now, it's not time. It's not time to take action. It's not time to swing that great big sword, which can be fatal if we're not careful. And I'm not saying that our actions could be fatal. They might be, because there's that kind of quality to this energy today. But it's important for us to be mindful of what we're doing. When we go out to swing a big sword, it's not something you joke around with. It's not something you're frivolous with. It's something we're deliberate and intentional about it. And swords represent ideas and action. So when we're not clear about what our ideas are, what our direction is, what action to take, it's not a good time to go throwing the sword around. It's time to just be peaceful and centered and grounded and connect to the broader, wiser part of us and access that information that is there for us. And trust that right action will present itself in right timing. The near future. Oh, the card of illusion, the Seven of Hearts. How interesting. And so we have this angel, and she's looking up at the sky, and there are all these sort of balloon-like hearts, and there's sort of this quality of overwhelm, of not knowing, is it true, is it not true, is it real, is it not real? There's just this quality of, well, illusion sort of says it all, isn't it? So this card is in the near future, and we need to be paying attention to this so that we are not knocked off our center in the face of what is coming our way. So this week we may find that we're feeling unsettled and not sure what to do, where to go, how to be. There's this quality of indecision. And once again, we come back to this card. It's time to ground ourselves in what we know. Come back to the purified desire. Come back to the yes. Come back to the inspiration. Come back to the joy, the highest enthusiasm possible in every moment, and let that inform us rather than coming from an ungrounded, because this is a mental card, and when we're in the mind and not in the body, we're ungrounded. We're not making congruent choices with this beautiful body, which is our compass to our wisdom. It's the compass. We are interfacing with life through these bodies. And so it's important to involve the body in all the decisions that we make so that there is greater harmony and balance and truth. And this card here is reminding us that we need to stay embodied. We need to stay grounded so that we aren't overwhelmed, so that we aren't taken advantage of, so that we aren't ungrounded and uncentered and unable to discern what is appropriate for us in any moment. So this is the card of the near future. Again, this is not something to be feared. It's simply to be aware of the energy, the potential energy that is coming towards us this week. And if we're feeling ungrounded and uncertain, what are our tools to return home to ourselves, to return home to our connection to Source? What are the practices that we have in our tool bag that we can lean on to help us go, yep, I don't know what to do right now. I'm feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. I don't know what's true. What is true? The breath right now, right here in my body is true, is real, is authentic. Come back with the breath to the body and just breathe and notice what is right here, right now. Come back to the three-dimensional reality of the physicality of this experience, because it is powerfully grounding and allows us to get some space and some discernment around these aspects, mental, emotional aspects that are knocking us off our grounded center and interfering with our ability to be as grounded and centered and present and whole and responsive as we could be when we're grounded. And the foundation card for this week is the King of Hearts. It's why we're having the reading this week. We need to tap into the mastery of heart, the mastery of our spirits, our hearts, our souls, being guided by our intuition, being guided by our felt intuitive sense and response to things. So the King of Hearts is the masculine aspect of this suit. It is a more, deliberate, intentional, and focused way of being, rather than the Queen, which is more feminine and flow. The kings, the masculine, tend to have structures. They tend to put structures up around so that things happen, and whether that's a schedule, whether that's an actual system being put in place. There's that systematic quality to the masculine energy. So this week, it's interesting. What are our tools? What are the structures? What are the infrastructures, the scaffolding we have in place to stay resilient, to stay in our heart, to stay responsive rather than reactive, so that as we feel uncertain and as we feel overwhelmed, we can come back to ground zero within ourselves and come back to our peace, come back to our centeredness, knowing that we will know what to do when the time is right. We will know how to respond to the overwhelm of the outer world with peace and with groundedness through our tools, through our scaffolding, through those things that we have in place within ourselves, our practices that we've been developing. And if you don't have a practice, you might be surprised to realize that you've been developing things anyway. So what do I mean by that? A practice is something that we come back to on a regular basis, that on a spiritual practice brings us home to ourselves, brings us back to this beautiful body, brings us back to our connection to Source. And we can lean into it whenever we need to. And so when I say you may have been building a practice without even realizing it, if you go for walks every day, if you're connecting with nature, be that a houseplant or a tree when you're out on your walk, that is a practice. Taking deep breaths to come home to your body before making a decision or responding, that is a practice. It's a level of mindfulness, of self-awareness, of connection to Source, the Source that is within each and every one of us. That's what I'm talking about when I say a practice. And there are beautiful structures out there that exist, that have existed for a very, very long time, that we can lean into and call into ourselves. Practices like yoga, qigong, tai chi. I've mentioned a lot of these over the years on this channel. Meditation, walking meditation, spending time in nature, just stilling ourselves and being here now. That is what is needed. That gives us that masterful edge so that we can look at this with objectivity. We can get to a detached, neutral, curious place and go, oh, isn't that interesting? I'm feeling all tense because there's something I have to decide on and I don't know what to do. Well, I'm going to breathe into that. I'm going to breathe in and create some space so that the insights can come. That's what these practices are all about. Bring us home to our hearts, bring us home to ourselves, bring us home to our knowingness so that we create the space we need to navigate this with greater ease and resilience. always following the S. This beautiful card here, it's okay. It's okay to pop our heads up, sample life, look at things, and get clearer about what we want by doing so. It helps us to move more easily and reestablish our focus, come back to what's important so that we're spending time there rather than pulled off center by maybe something external coming towards us. It's all about the outside, the inside out versus the outside in. We're here to live from the inside out. And these indicate an outside in quality of energy. So just being aware of that this week. It's just information. You can use it for your good in whatever way seems most appropriate for you. These readings are about supporting us as individuals and as a collective as we navigate the energies of these times. And it is a weird time, let's face it, and it's okay. We chose to be here. We chose to be part of the vanguard of life and light, if you want to call it that. And that's part of the mastery that we're developing right now, is how do we stay in that awareness more often so that we respond rather than react, so that we are artful co-creators with deliberation and intention with life rather than reactive, knee-jerk reactors, not in the driver's seat. I think that's pretty clear. Let's pull our card to grow on, shall we? So yeah, this week, just notice when you feel ungrounded, notice when you feel uncertain. There's a lot of stuff right now that's all about triggering that in us, knocking us off our center, keeping us from being peaceful and grounded and potent within ourselves, because that is where our power is. It's in this now moment within ourselves, living from the inside out and responding to life. And if we get pulled out of ourselves and we take outside in information as more valid and important than our own inside out information, that's when we really run into challenges and trouble. We're here to be masterful co-creators with life as individuals, uniquely expressing and interacting with each other and with this incredible environment, which is our home when we're in human bodies. Not be at the effect of and subject to the outside in energy. We can be aware of it, we can respond to it, we can direct it in ways that serve our good. So coming back as always to the S. What is it that makes your heart sing? What is it that gives you joy and peace and resilience and love? What is it that life is calling you towards? That's where we need to be. Okay, Creator, what is our card to grow on this week for our personal and collective highest and greatest good? How can we summarize the information of the reading this week so that we can carry it with us effortlessly and respond masterfully to whatever shenanigans and circumstances we experience in the outer world? And we have the Emperor. And the Emperor is about seeing clearly and truly, really wise seeing. So it's about the seeing that allows us to discern. It's about seeing from a very clean and clear place. We have the Emperor. He sits at the base of the mountain on a very wide throne. He's very grounded. He has the waters of the collective unconsciousness running at his feet. We have these beautiful flowers representing that purified desire. The Emperor sees into his domain and his people. He sees the opportunities. He sees the individuals. He sees how things can come together for everyone's highest and greatest good. He is a noble and good leader. That's what the Emperor represents. That leadership that is truly in service to more life, to the good of the life that is there. And wise leadership, discerning leadership. So this week, as we're going about our business, our card to grow on is see truly, see wisely, come back to leadership within ourselves and seeing what is happening in our world from a broader, wiser perspective so that we can respond, so that we can say, okay, that's going on. How do I want to be about that? Who do I want to be about that as I move into life? So the Emperor, Major Arcana, 4 is a very stable number. Using our tools, using our breath, using our practices to come home to ourselves and to be at home within ourselves as much as possible as we look out into the world and discern truly what is true, what is authentic, what is wise, where we need to be giving our energy and our attention so we can be the best version of ourselves possible in service to the highest amount of life possible. And, realizing that it doesn't have to be some crazy, radical, extreme activity that we get up to. It's enough for us to get up every day and do our lives to the best of our ability. And we may be called to more than that, or maybe that's enough right now, to be present, masterful, here and engaged, and coming at life from that conscious, deliberate, grounded space, so that we are bringing that more curious, broader energy to the life environment, to those around us, responding kindly and with love and respect, and speaking truly if it's necessary as well. We don't all have to have the same opinion. It's okay for us to differ. We seem to have forgotten that. We're all unique individuals having a different perspective. And the discussion of those different perspectives moves life forward. We discover more about ourselves and each other and the world at large when we have conversations and discussions. And there's a lot of hard ones happening right now. And it's okay. We are here in human form to have this experience, and to give ourselves permission to do it to the best of our ability is where it's at. So thank you for doing your good work. Thank you for being here once again this week. So I invite you to take a nice deep breath. Close your eyes, come home to that beautiful body, knowing that the breath is this incredible practice in and of itself. We do it unconsciously, but we can do it with more mindfulness. Bringing love and light into our being. And on the out breath, releasing what no longer serves us. Oxygenating the body, providing it with what it needs to function magnificently in all its many, many mechanisms. And I'm running out of words. You understand the proper function of the body requires oxygen and hydration, good nourishment, exercise, sunlight, love, inspiration. All these good things are relevant to our health and well-being, and allowing us to stay as present and grounded and centered as possible in this crazy time. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, and we've just finished this reading of the week for October 25th to the 1st of November 2024. I ask that you be with us as we navigate these unusual times. Help us to remember our practices, our tools, our wisdom. Help us to practice the breathing that allows us to stay present and aware and open and dynamic and flexible, so we can respond to all that life is bringing us, so we can support each other in responding, so that we can have collective conversations of what's up, what's down, what's going on, so that we can come together as humanity and craft a beautiful future together. I just ask for continued love and light and support in our fields as unique individuals and as a collective society. I ask for wisdom and discernment and clarity for our leaders, that they come back to understanding they are in a privileged position representing the planet and its people. And I ask that you infuse them with the discernment and the wisdom and the information they need to make excellent choices for the collective good of life, all life on this planet, including that of humanity. This reading is at an end. Thank you to all those who helped to hold the space today, and to you for being here once again. I'm grateful for you and for all that you bring to these weekly readings. Whether you realize it or not, sitting on the other side of the camera somewhere far away, your intentional gathering here is adding to this collective momentum of our smaller readings on the world field, but also your willingness to be a more conscious and deliberate and active participant on the planet at this time. Anything that supports you in having more masterfulness in this is in service not only to your good and my good, but to our collective human field and the field of life at large. So I want to thank you for being you, doing what you do, and joining me here. I'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. Much love and light. If you like this video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please do it already. I have no intention of being a YouTube influencer, but if we can help this video get to those who need it, to support them in coming into their mastery, then that would be a phenomenal and excellent thing. All the little bits that help us in being more. I'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. Take good care and bye for now.